going on, everybody? This is Merc Plays Games, continuing my playthrough of Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to be knocking out some quests, and then just progressing a little bit. We're trying to get through everything. It's a very huge game. There's so much that you can do, so I hope you enjoy.
Such arrogance. Let's shoot it to
I think they could have improved a little bit, like if I had to critique the combat, is the counter system. The indicator shows up above your head, and like games like Batman and Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure the indicator shows up on the enemy's head. And so I'm having issues where I like can't counter or block properly because I'm focusing on the enemy itself and like its health bar. And so I kind of neglect to see the indicator around my head. Other than that, I'm really enjoying the combat.
Up for a bit of dying, are we? That was unimpressive. Are you quite finished? That's from the lucky, that's all. I won't rest. Someone's here. You will regret coming here. How nice of you to stop by. This is where you will fail. Why can't I hit you? Stop it!
Revelio. Both camps cleared. Madame Beaumont will be glad to hear that. Abandoned long ago, no doubt.
I do miss the bustle of business.
Hello, Madame Beaumont. Good news. I was able to clear out Ranrock's camps.
You cleared them out? How?
I managed to catch them off guard.
When my brother returns, this news will mean the world to him. You saved our hamlet, my young friend. This will not be forgotten. I fear for other hamlets, truly. Ranrock and his lot are unlike any goblins I've ever seen.
What do you have for sale?
What are you looking for exactly? Thank you. Sincerely. Marvelous. I could always use more of these. Thank you for passing through.
New instruments are expensive, you know.
I know a Merlin trial when I see one.
So in the future, as I'm playing
This
this,
looks
I'm
intriguing.
probably only going to record actual story stuff and quest stuff. Maybe some other stuff that I get on the way. I'm going to focus on completing like Merlin trials and all the other little puzzles and stuff that aren't really that interesting to watch. I'm going to complete that outside of the recordings. That way I get that done. You all don't have to watch me do that. So this, one of these enemies here is a lot tougher. He's only really tough because he's an Nefarious. You have to light them on fire in order to do any kind of damage to them. So for those reasons, he can prove to be a little bit difficult. But once you light them on fire, you can see he takes a lot of damage. The reason why his health bar is where it is because he's considered an infamous foe. There is a challenge, as you can see there, that unlocks to once you defeat certain named enemies throughout the game, it unlocks challenges and rewards for you.
Revelio. This mentions Inferi, and something about it being Bardolph's turn next. Revelio.
Oh, I do hope my brother is all right.
I could use some gold.
Madame Beaumont, I do have some news of your brother.
Oh, please tell me he's safe.
I regret to say that Bardolph had been turned into an Inferius, and I had to kill him.
What? But how could you possibly think that an Inferius was my brother Bardolph? That's absurd.
He was wearing a woolen jumper, hand-knitted.
No, this can't be.
I'm truly sorry. I wish it had been better news. I wish you well, Madame Beaumont.
What more could I have done? Oh, Bardolph.
Chips in the hatch.
Bardolph. My dear, dear brother.
Don't be stingy.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
Wonder where we should aim for next.
Hide in the cloud!
Nothing more than luck. I'll get that goblin help back. Hopefully by rubbing in your corpse. Avoiding nothing more than luck.
Velio.
It's been ages since I've found anything worth poaching this Crackcroft.
Revelio.
Can't figure out why there's such a fuss over poaching. Enough dumb beasts for everyone. Sometimes I do wonder if your eyes are still in your head. What was that? If it isn't Nora Treadwell's guardian. No.
Revelio. Revelio. Better have a look around, see if I can find that box of letters. Confringo! Revelio. Getting there. Just a few more whole clumps to harvest. Almost there. One more whole clump to harvest. That's all the whole clumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Revelio. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or avoid it altogether.
So the mountain troll here is kind of like a mini boss. All the trolls usually are. They're not like infamous foes or anything like that. You can tell the difference with the health bar. Infamous foes, their health bar is usually wider across the whole screen at the top there. They are pretty difficult, but once you recognize the attack pattern, it's easy to just dodge and block as you need to. Also, I'm starting to incorporate what my final build is going to be like. I have started using some spells that curse enemies. I'm going for the dark arts build, even though I'm not really playing as a dark wizard. More like if there was a morality, a spectrum, or feature in the game, I'd be more like gray. I think it's much more interesting that way. The Dark Arts ability and the skill tree allows you to upgrade certain of your basic spells to create curses on enemies. And then you can upgrade the unspeakable or unforgivable curses, so that way it spreads the curses all around. And then when you unleash the Vada Kedavra curse, which instantly kills an enemy, it'll actually instantly kill all cursed enemies. So the idea behind the build I'm going for is to dot everybody up with curses and then unleash one of Vada Kedavra to kill them all. So you can start to see that. That's why there's that green X on the troll there. He just indicating that he's cursed. And of course, cursed enemies do take more damage. There is another talent too that all cursed enemies will share the damage that you inflict on your target. So the idea is to kind of nuke everybody kind of at once.
I think they felt that in London. Revelio.
I do end up having to come back into this cave to get the collection treasure chest. When you're playing the game, you'll see certain areas have collection treasures. You may see it on the mini-map where you see a chest. Those chests contain items for the Room of Requirements. So that's the only way that you can get them other than buying stuff at that Scrolls place in Hogsmeade or quest rewards. You have to go around and collect those chests. There is only enough chests for the same amount of items in Room of Requirements, so you kind of need to go around and do that in order to be able to get certain items in order to basically decorate and make your Room of Requirement like pretty cool. Usually the important stuff you can buy or you get as quest rewards, like the stuff for potion making and growing herbs. So you don't have to worry about hunting those down. Looking online, the reward out of those chests are always random. So if you really want to cheese it, you just find one of those chests, save, and then keep opening it until you get the item you want. I don't know if you want to waste your time doing that. I certainly won't, but that's something you can do.
This must be Sirona's box of letters. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back. I should find Mrs. Sprottle. She'll be glad to get these hawk lumps. This could prove dangerous if I'm not careful. Hello, Mr. Sprottle. I have good news. I was able to harvest some hawk lumps for you, and I found Sirona's box of letters.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion. And Sirona will be delighted to have those letters. How kind of you. Now you be careful heading back to Hogsmeade.
I should take this box of letters to Sirona. She'll be glad to have it back. Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some hawk lumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw.
I spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
What are you up to now?
Ironically, I didn't see ahead of time how bored I'd be in divination class.
So knowledgeable.
Adelaide Oaks, isn't it? I received your owl.
Yes, I'm Adelaide Oaks. Oh dear. You see, my uncle Roland is a metal trader who's quite well known in the goblin community. He normally sends me owls every week when he's on his business travels. In his last owl, he alluded to dealings with those radical goblins, Ranrock's loyalists. It's been ages since that owl and I'm worried. What with the troll attack on Hogsmeade and the rumours that goblins may have been involved, well, I'm fearing the worst. Should I be worried about my uncle, or am I overthinking this?
I think you're right to be concerned, Adelaide. Your uncle may be in trouble.
You're much more understanding than Professor Weasley. She heard I was going to look for him and forbade me from leaving the grounds. She's convinced he can handle himself, but I can't concentrate on anything until I know he's all right. Could you try to find out for me? From what I hear, you're almost as adventurous as Uncle Roland.
Has your uncle traded with many goblins?
Yes, for ages. Even speaks gobbledygook. But he only recently mentioned Ranrock's lot, insisting the galleons were worth the risk. He does it for me. Between robes and supplies, attending Hogwarts costs a fair sickle. And besides that, Uncle Roland has expensive taste. He's sacrificed so much for me over the years. I promised him that as soon as I finish Hogwarts, I shall be the one taking care of him.
I take it you and your uncle are close.
We are. My mother died when I was born, and I lost my father when I was 5. Uncle Roland's looked after me for as long as I can remember. He knows I get anxious when he travels, and that's why he sends me all the owls, to let me know that he's all right.
I'll try and look into it for you, Adelaide.
Thank you. He's very thorough in his record keeping, notes all his trades in a journal, makes maps. In fact, in his last owl, he drew me a map of his next stop. He'd planned to set up camp north of here. I do hope you're able to find out where he is. Thank you again for any help you can provide.
Huh? What do we have here?
I hope those assignments were challenging enough for you.
I've completed all of my tasks, Professor Onai.
Very well done. Although I must admit, I did have something of a premonition that you would follow through. Now, as you have no doubt sharpened your perception by completing my assignment, I am curious, based upon the knowledge that one's present and even one's past may reveal traces of what is to come. What do you see in your own future?
I see good things. After all, the future's mine for the taking, and I shall take what I must.
The future is not etched in stone. It can be carved out by those with very strong wills, and you do seem to possess one. But this talk of tomorrow should not divert us from your present success. I shall inform our good deputy headmistress of your exemplary performance. And if that performance is any omen of what your future may hold, then I, for one, see great things.
I hope Adelaide's Uncle Roland is all right. She seems very worried. Adelaide mentioned her uncle's camp may be near Brockborough, past the river.
You have it! Now, why not practice the new spell on the training?
So now we learn Descendo. I don't really use it that much. I haven't come across an actual need or puzzle that requires it. I'm sure there might be, but I don't really incorporate it. It's not one of the spells that you can upgrade to help with the build that I mentioned earlier.
Perhaps you want Expulso! That woman, isn't it? That goblin elm you pilfered.
Now here is the first arena that I try. It's a dark arts arena, and you go into it, the game gives you access to the 3 unforgivable curses. In order to unlock the arena, you have to destroy all these spaces. Here, it's only 5, I think it was. But once you do that, the statue kind of opens up. You go up to the statue, and then you get into the arena, and you have to defeat waves of enemies. It's pretty typical. But it was actually fun to be able to use the unforgivable curses for the first time.
How delightful. You're no match for me. I've never seen such magic. What? I shall end you.
Benito! Patrick! Release me! Oh!
Nobody'll believe I defeated an Ashwinder by myself.
One less human to worry about. Not very good at this, are you?
Stupid one! Abandon his arm!
Ranrock has fooled you all to your demise.
A lamb to the slaughter.
Clumsy little fool!
Come on, fight back. That's just the beginning. Knew you were still hanging about.
Say you're hard to hit. That won't stop.
You're easier to spot than an Eruption.
How dare you! You cannot control me! Conductive, aren't we? You died for I won't rest, Bolter! You have defeated our temperate in the town! Bolter! Get away! Expulso! You almost had a lucky...
Might want to look.
Is that the best you can do? Very tempting.
You're no match for me.
The darkness will swallow you up.
Wait till Sebastian hears about this. An Ashwinder.
An intruder! Shut down! At your service. I will make you pay. Give a You're not back from easily done. This is almost too easy.
Aha! Back for more. Ha! You're easier to spot than an eruption. You've made a great.
Your spells glance off of me.
That's the best you can do. I'm just warming up.
Because that spell up. I won't shut one less you. That was meant for me. You won't stop me.
You manipulated me. You'll answer for this.
Give her
Rest easy, my friend.
I'll make you wish you were back at school.
That's proper feeble, that is! Shield on, sweetheart! That's just fair. What are your thoughts on that?
Rather unwise coming back this way. You're coming to regret that. I've been fighting since the Expulso! While you're still alive. Easily hardened. Death from above! Much too slow.
How nice of you. Let's get it. There you are.
It was also during the completion of the arena where I really began to have a respect and understanding of why you want to use potions too. So I do another arena later on, and I just started to use all the different potions. The focus potion, the thunder brew potion, all of that, all the potions except for the invisibility one. They're all very useful. You definitely want to probably put points into the room of requirement for the potions to get the added benefits, but at least on regular difficulty, I'm sure they're probably necessary and required on the hardest difficulty. But for regular difficulty, if you pop all those potions, nothing can stop you, really. So that's another aspect I'm going to include into the build that I'm running, is that I'm just going to go into a huge fight like that. I'm not really going to worry if it's just like a small camp or anything like that. But you definitely should invest into the potions because they're really useful.
Could this be Mr. Oakes' Mog's loyalists? This is. Should I take them by force or through the
You look tired. That was meant for me.
I know what happened here. Mr. Oakes's trade journal. Adelaide said that her uncle kept notes of his trades, maps. Perhaps these landmarks will lead me to...
Leviosa.
Settle yourself, I mean you no harm. A rock formation. That's the first landmark on this map. Now, to find the crooked tree. These rocks have seen better days. Could it be a Merlin trial?
Next time I see Fig or that student, I'll give them what they deserve.
What do we have here?
Go and patrol.
I may have more luck higher
Who's that?
up. A ladder. That's what I need. This looks like trouble. This castle's hiding all sorts of secrets.
Revelio.
One of the best meals I've ever eaten.
What was that? I feel as though I'm not alone.
Revelio. This is the spot on the map. I'd best have my wits about me.
I won't.
Revelio.
What will we find in here?
I will make you pay. I won't rest until you're...
It looks as though Adelaide's instincts were spot on. Revelio. Alohomora. Revelio. Revelio.
can avenge your death.
A boiler door. How to open it? Revelio.
You're like nothing but I won't rest. Was that your best? Much too slow.
Revelio. Hello? Mr. Oakes?
Yes, I'm here. They've taken my wand. This cell has an enchanted lock. I have experience with these locks, but I need my wand if I have any chance of opening it. Look for a boiler door. I've heard them speak of it.
I need to find Mr. Oakes' wand. Where could it be? Revelio. Revelio.
I will make you.
Revelio. Here. Incendio!
Thank you.
Revelio!
Suspicious. Pitiful. Truly. I won't. Human. One less human to worry about. Kill smells. Easily diverted. I don't think you know who you're dealing with. Why can't I hit I won't rest. Prepare to surrender now.
Revelio! This must be Mr. Oakes's wand. Perhaps now he can set himself free.
Pass it to me. Hurry, before they come. I must get out. Hurry. My wand. Oh, thank Merlin. Thank you. You did it! I found my wand and... Wait, you're a student? Oh, we must get you to safety immediately. It's dangerous.
It's all right, Mr. Oakes. I've dealt with these goblins before.
Dear Merlin, you're either very lucky or very talented. Well, how did you find me?
I'm a friend of Adelaide's. She was worried about your business with Ranrock's loyalists.
Oh, she was right to be. I couldn't go through with the agreement, and when I told them, I ended up blindfolded and behind bars. Been locked in that infernal cell for so long they'd forgot I was even there. I overheard things. If only I could reward you for what you've done. Blasted goblin stole every Knut on me. All I can say is thank you, truly.
You mentioned you overheard things.
Sad tale, really. I think I know where Ranrock's unfortunate vendetta against wizardkind began. Although dragon breeding was outlawed by the Warlocks Convention of 1709, Ranrock stumbled upon an illegal dragon camp. He was young, found the creatures fascinating. He'd visit the camp in secret whenever he could, never making his presence known. After weeks of sly surveillance, he finally summoned the courage to speak to the wizard in charge. Ranrock wanted to join them, and the creatures. The wizard happened to drop his wand. Ranrock saw an opportunity. He picked it up, went to hand it back as a means of introducing himself. The sight of a goblin with a wand sent the wizard into an instant rage. He beat Ranrock nearly to death. Ever since, Ranrock has despised wizardkind, sees us all as cruel.
Am I right that you speak gobbledygook?
Unbeknownst to Ranrock's fiends, I do. I've always had an affinity for goblin culture. Knew I wanted to be a metal trader ever since I was a lad. It wasn't easy learning the language. It's complex, and my memory's as weak as my knees these days. But after decades working with fine goblin folk, I grew fairly proficient. At least, I'd like to think so.
I'm grateful I was able to help you, Mr. Oakes. Adelaide thinks the world of you.
Oh, and I her. She's become quite savvy to my trading habits, always analyzing my detailed owls. If only I hadn't resorted to trading with such fiends. A lesson I shan't soon forget. Having my wand back is like being reunited with an old friend. I must return home and inform Adelaide of my safety. Will you be all right?
I'll be fine, Mr. Oakes. You get back to Adelaide. I assure you her worries outweigh yours.
Oh, I'm anxious to see my dear niece. And then I plan to travel far from here for my next round of trading. Thank you. May life reward you justly for your deeds. Be well, my friend.
I've freed him.
Seems quiet. Too quiet, you ask me.
Revelio. Trouble's brewing, and I'm without my friends. Not the best place for an unaccompanied student. Revelio.
Bring me a dozen shoes.
Fringo.
One less humour to worry about.
Revelio.
That's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. Every subscription really helps. Every subscriber helps. Helps me to grow the channel. So I appreciate your time in watching the videos. If you do subscribe, please hit the bell so that way you get notifications of my future videos. And until next time, thanks for watching again. Bye.